Hello and welcome back to another Digs on Twitch Legacy League with Death and Taxes. Currently 1-0 in the league, but on, of course, Wednesday night we had a bit of scheduled maintenance come into play, so we had to actually drop the league then, sadly. So pretty much playing a pretty stock standard traditional Death and Taxes list. We are playing the one of Warping Wail, which I've played in the past, especially in the Ancient Tomb build. It's a really good removal spell against a lot of the fair decks. It's pretty nice as well against a lot of the unfair decks. I'm just going to quickly... I've really liked Warping Wail. I think it's always been a really cool card for D&T, especially when you can counter things. Aaron, what's up? How you going? I'm Mars14. What's up with you as well? What's up with you as well? Yeah, Warping Wail's been awesome, countering things like Natural Order, Green Sun Zenith, Infernal Tutor, Show and Tell. It's definitely got targets in pretty much every matchup, which is really cool. The ability to create a 1-1 in an end step as well, so I've had turns where against Miracles, I've had an equipment on board and my opponent stepped out for Jace. I've been able to put a Warping Wail 1-1 into play, equip it, and then kill the Jace, which is very cool. So I'm going to actually keep the Whale in the deck until I really want something else. If it was something else, it would most likely be a second Mirran or just another target for Recruiter of the Guard. So here you can see my targets for Recruiter as one-ofs being Ballista, Palace Jailer, Spirit Keeper, and Mirran Crusader. Spirit Keeper is probably the newest of them. It's been pretty good. I can't say too many bad things about it, which is nice. The ability to actually recover from something is really nice. Duke25, how you going? Episode 25, sorry. Good to see you. The sideboard is a little bit more one-of than I usually run. We're trying out the Remorseful Cleric in the place for Rest in Peace. I think that Rest in Peace isn't that great right now, and it's nice to have a tutorable flyer, not just a tutorable answer to Graveyard Hate through something like Faerie Macabre. Doe, morning. Hope you're doing well on this fine Saturday morning. And then also just the Blessed Alliance in the sideboard as well is usually a part to exile. Same with the Holy Light. But I've gone for these two really to answer True Name Nemesis. Blessed Alliance also gets around Chalice for the Eldrazi decks. And Blessed Alliance is also an answer to Archetype of Endurance in Reanimated decks. Just because I've definitely found a lot of Reanimate online recently, and Archetype of Endurance is a card that I usually can't deal with outside of Council's Judgment or Mother of Runes. So pretty happy to try that out. Holy Light as well, just to hedge against elves, and anything goes wide, like Grixis Pyro, it's really good against as well. And we can cast it as early as turn 2 with Ancient Tomb, which is nice, but there's only a few times you get to draw that. And then I'm also trying the Karn as well over the second Gideon / the second Cataclysm. We'll see how that goes. Brightling as well on the sideboard, just because I really like it against grindy matchups. It's a little bit better than Mirran Crusader in my opinion, in that it can dodge a lot of removal that's online right now, like Bolt. Seeing a lot of red, especially when people are trying out these Phoenix decks. You've got a lot of Grixis online. That's pretty much it for the deck. Let's get straight into this league. So I'm currently 1-0 taking down Show and Tell last time. How'd I go against last night with Goblins? So last night I did some exhibition matches with turn 1 Goblin Lucky turn 1? 1 second. How do I forget this? Goblin Lucky 1, of course. Pretty good. I mean, I think it was pretty fair. I think Goblins actually got up in the end. It was pretty interesting. A lot of the sideboard games actually worked out in Goblin's favor. So I'll quickly show you the list that I was playing with. This is Junk Maverick, and of course, if you look at the sideboard, Zealous Persecution is just a house against Goblins, but I never got to cast one, which is pretty rough. And it really is my answer to a deck that can go wide so fast. ENR31, welcome to the stream, and thank you very much for the subscription last night. It was very cool. Speaking of, we do have a giveaway today. It is a Sheoldred Whispering one from our very supportive sponsors, MTG Made. So I'll probably be giving this out between rounds 4 and 5, I guess. K988, thank you very much. I hope you are having a lovely morning. So this is, of course, the Maverick deck that took on Goblins. Performed pretty well. I mean, Knight of the Relic-Warder was really the big threat in the matchup. But enough about that. Ah, interesting. Let's quickly fix that. Won't be a second, sorry. I need my chat box. There we go. Yeah, Chris, shouldn't he be doing solutions? Isn't that kind of why? No, I appreciate your support, 100%. If I wanted to build something when buying Black Red Reanimator, would you play Burn or Goblins? If I wanted to build something while buying Black Red Reanimator, would you buy Burn or Goblins? I think Goblins is definitely the funner deck, but that's definitely subjective to the player. I think Goblins is a sweet deck and has a lot of play to it. Burn as well can just steal some matches. I mean, if you're wanting to like just grind your local meta and maybe get some store credit out of your wins that can go towards your Black Red Reanimator deck, then Burn's a pretty viable choice. I mean, a lot of decks just aren't ready for Burn. The playstyle doesn't change a lot in Burn, so you might become weary of its playstyle, I want to say. But both good, like, kind of budget options while you are building your main deck, for sure. I think if anything, maybe Goblins gets a lot of the flack from hate for decks like Death and Taxes. So things like Toxic Deluge, Marsh Casualties, those kind of cards can wipe out Goblins pretty well. But I think Goblins actually has a pretty good way of fighting back as well, which is cool. So let's get straight into it. This is the deck list. Of course, you can see it on the screen as well through the Cardboard Live functionality. So if you just hover over the cards, you can click on the deck list and bring out the whole list, which is very cool. So yeah, let's just get straight into it and play this league. So we're looking at a Legacy League with D&T. I'm in Brisbane too, so a lot of decks to borrow, but have something of your own is always good. Yeah, it really is. For sure. I mean, myself, I have Eldrazi, Blue-White Miracles, Rug or Red Delver, Blue-Red Shadow, and Death and Taxes to always hand out, which is nice. But yeah, I think Burn's a solid choice for Brisbane. Burn's always done pretty well for the players that have played it in Brisbane. I know Isaac Shohag has probably made a few too many top 8s with Burn that I'd like with Burn, but yeah, it's a solid deck, and it's a great way to really understand the other decks in Legacy. I think it's pretty straightforward in the way that you get to kind of just spend your games against other Legacy decks, learning what they're doing. Because other than sequencing, Burn has a pretty straightforward game plan. All right, we're in. There we go. This hand's okay, so the only threat is Thalia, but it has a turn 1 Vial. It has a little bit of interaction with Wasteland and Warping Wail as well. The double Karakas is a little bit rough. I would have loved the second Karakas to be a threat, but you know what? I'm happy keeping this on the play. Not too sure what Piker Power is on. I'd appreciate you not playing Burn, as Allurin can't beat it. You know what, Trent? That's what you get for playing Allurin. Turn 1 Ponder? Okay. Not too bad. If this is Storm, there's actually... I'm kind of hoping to land this Karakas first. So if it is Storm, I can play around Massacre by never playing this Plains and using Karakas as my white sources. This could also just be Miracles, which a turn 1 Vial is really nice against. Another ponder before playing land is interesting. Usually if you have a fetch land, you're wanting to fetch before your second ponder, because if you want to keep the 3 cards on top, you don't have to shuffle away. Preordained. So this is kind of looking towards something like High Tide, but it's still really early to tell. Would love to trigger this Vial up to 1. This actually could also just be Show and Tell, so maybe holding up Warping Wail isn't the worst either. So my options are hold up Warping Wail or play Thalia. I kind of like just holding up Warping Wail because the Vial is going to get Thalia down next turn. And if they do try to Show and Tell me, I do have some sort of play. They're going to Brainstorm first, so maybe they drew a fetch land. I also have coffee, which is very good. Straight away fetch is interesting. I think I'll activate Vial here just to see if they do anything. I don't think they will. There's no point not doing it. So here we'll definitely tick up. Port's pretty nice. So I'm going to play Port and pass. I'm going to put Thalia in on their upkeep. They're going to play Impulse. So this is looking a lot like Sneak and Show. I think I'm happy to Port with the Wasteland, hold up Karakas, and put the Vial in, Thalia in through the Vial. So here we get to see if they use their mana efficiently or not. So they don't, which is nice, so we can put in this Vial. Ancient Tomb Show and Tell is a thing. It's not a great thing. They've had a lot of preordaining and pondering, so the hand is sculpted pretty nicely now. And there's a great Wasteland target, which is interesting that they actually gave me that option. I'm pretty happy just keeping this on 2 for now. Until I draw a 3-drop, I don't really want to tick it up. Okay, it's pretty good. So I think here we're happy to hit the Volk, attack with Thalia, and just say go. So that Volk could have definitely been... Wow, they're going to miss that turn. Okay. So I think here I'm happy just to put in this Revoker, naming... most likely Sneak Attack. I could also go after Lotus Petal if I really want to go after their mana, but I do have this Flickerwisp, so I can reset it if I really wish to. I think I'm happy Revokering the Sneak Attack because next turn they'll be on 12. They don't really have a way to... If they go to 12 and then draw 7, they'll be going to 5, which is just lethal with the Flickerwisp, so I don't really think that right now the Grizzlebrand is a big threat. But Doa, thank you very much for the subscription. That's really nice of you, and it goes a hell of a long way. And also, if you're ever up for borrowing a deck for a Legacy night, either on Monday nights or Tuesday nights, let me know, because I have a few options. So we're just going to pass back here, of course. We're going to take this Vial up to 3. Having the Flickerwisp is just the best card to have with a Vial on 3. Another Flickerwisp is just insane. So let's go to attacks first. So I'm actually happy to use these Flickerwisps as mana denial. So in end steps, I can exile lands until my opponent's end steps. Cray AU, good morning. It looks like we're playing against Show and Tell again in this matchup, sorry. So I don't mind playing the Plains against this deck. So we can go to the end step. Activate Vial. Put in a Flickerwisp. Flicker out an island. Upkeep, we can tap down 1 island. So now it's getting to the stage where they don't have the access to just Ancient Tomb Show and Tell because of Thalia, which is really nice. And it looks like they're just skimping on lands a few times, so that's pretty rough for my opponent, but I am all for it. I don't want to use Aether Vial's ability. Another Plains is fine. So another Plains actually allows me to keep up Rishadan Port if I really want to. Sorry, keep up. It allows me to port and also keep up Warping Wail. I don't think I'll show it in game 1, hopefully, even if they cast something. Again, we'll do the exact same thing as last turn. Putting in Wisp, flickering out an Aether Vial. Yeah, it could definitely be High Tide. I think it's not because of the Volcanic Island. I don't know if they play it, but you never know. I definitely suspected it early on. Should have tapped them down their upkeep. That is fine. We'll tap them down their draw step. And they're just going to concede. So they really haven't shown what they have. But I'm gonna sideboard like it is. Sneak attack, show and tell. So what do we want? We definitely want the Canonist. We definitely want the Leonin Relic-Warder. I really like the Judgments. If you really don't like the matchup, you can bring in Surgical in case they play Intuition. But I don't think it's worth it. You can also, of course, snag the first show and tell, but I think you're in a pretty bad spot if the first one's resolved. I'm happy to take out 3 swords, keeping 1 in, just in case they bring in the new guy from Battle Bond that allows you to play around Containment Priest, the 1/3 that allows you to loot, and then if you discarded a creature card, I believe, you get to actually put a copy of it into play, and then all the copies go away once that creature goes away. Jitte can get out of here for sure. Containment Priest is pretty good. Arcane Artisan, thank you very much, Trent. What else do we like? I think Mirran's pretty slow. Hallowed Spiritkeeper is really nice against Show and Tell because it's great against Pyroclasm. I don't think there's anything else that I would really change here. I could also bring in Brightling because it is faster than the Mirran. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Stoneforge isn't that great. Maybe Stoneforge is worse than a Brightling and something like Cataclysm. Cataclysm's a lot better against things like Miracles, where they actually have Planeswalkers as well. So let's just... You know what, let's try out Surgical. Maybe we'll try out Surgical. Yeah, actually, Brightling seems really good against Kozilek's Return as well, which is probably what they have, not Pyroclasm. I think I'm just going to bring in the Gideon. It's kind of the last slot that I want to fill, and if anything, I want to get my creatures above 1/1s, just in case they do play something like Sulfur Elemental. Gideon itself is a really nice win condition and pretty fast as well, so pretty happy to go with this. Dew Factor, welcome to the chat. We are currently 1-0 up against what looks like Sneak and Show, but you can never really tell with combo decks sometimes. The Volcanic really took me off the High Tide thought. Ugh. Sadly, this is a no keeper. We don't even really have something that's great to put in response to a turn 1 show and tell, so we're going to mulligan this. This hand's actually great. Turn 1 Mum, turn 2 Thalia is really nice. We also have Revoker for something like Grizzlebrand or Sneak Attack. We can also go after their mana with Lotus Petals if we really want to. Our opponent's also gone down to 6. We will keep this. Not sure if I want to land on top or not. If it's a Wasteland, maybe. I don't know if they bring in something like Magus to the Moon against us, but I think just hitting our land drops is going to be pretty good for us as well. We also get to hide the Karakas now if we play a turn 1 Plains into Mother of Runes. They don't know that we have the Karakas, which is nice, so that might ploy them towards something like Show and Tell in Emrakul or... Oh, Terramander. Interesting. I took out my swords. Okay. I wonder if this is like a sideboard option. Maybe they're just like sided into Delver, kind of. I guess we'll see. From what I saw, it really didn't make me think that they were on like a low to the ground creature deck. I always have the Karakas, sure. Wow, another Terramander. Okay, so a slow threat. I've played a lot of Terramander in Legacy, and it is quite slow for what it really is. Palace Jail is nice. I think here I'm happy just to go jam Thalia into a Daze. Yeah, it's just going to resolve, which is really nice. They're down to 3 cards as well, so next turn we get to Rishadan Port. They're most likely off red, if possible, and then also Palace Jailer the following turn, although we do need another blocker for the other one, or else they will gain the crown. So 2 flyers in the air are pretty good against a Palace Jailer. Vial's a little bit late. But do I really... I think if anything, I'm scared of True Name, and I can't really stop that. So I think here I'm actually happy just to play this Vial. Even though it's a little bit late, my opponent hasn't got a great clock on, and I can actually start taking out this Vial and using it pretty effectively. If we draw into a flyer, it would be quite nice. Because we would be able to trade with the Terramander and then block another one with... or take another one with Palace Jailer. Impulse is a sweet card. But they're missing their land drop, it looks like. Unless they're playing it post-combat. No, wow. So we'll definitely tick that up. Council Judgment's nice, but of course we can't cast it right now. I can also just name Terramander with this Revoker, which I think I'm happy to do here. I can't do anything else. I can't really keep him off too much land, so let's just play this Revoker. Name Terramander. To be fair, I don't have another 2-drop, so I could have kept that for the Vial and used our Port on their lands. You can even revoke the baby dinosaurs and keep them as 1/1s and just race. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, if they want to keep one back and trade for the Revoker, I'm pretty happy with that because we do have this Palace Jailer. One thing I don't know is if they're a True Name deck, and of course Palace Jailer is pretty terrible against True Name, but we do have the Council's Judgment, which is really nice. There's City of Traders, so maybe this just is going to be... Okay, Young Pyromancer, interesting. That is fine, we can't deal with that anyway. So yeah, I wonder if this is a sneak and show deck that just sided out that combo for creatures. Flickerwisp, interesting. I think I'm still happy to wait a turn. The question is, am I happy to trade this Revoker for the Young Pyromancer? They have 3 cards in hand. I think I'm happy to actually see how they block here. And if they want me to use the Mum. No blocks, wow. Okay. Game on. So upkeep will definitely use this port. We'll tap down probably a red source. Of course, if I want to tap them down off mana, tapping them down off City of Traders being 2 mana is technically correct, but I don't think they have like any parts of the combo left, so I'm not too sure how good the City of Traders is. Yeah, Impulse with City but Tempo. I think it is Sneak and Show, and they've actually just gone ahead and... There's Show and Tell, okay. I guess I put in Palace Jailer. It does mean that they will be able to get through with creatures. But I think it's good enough. Unless I just put in Flickerwisp and flicker out whatever comes. So if I put in Palace Jailer, I get a creature and I can also Karakas back a legendary creature if they put it in. If I put in Flickerwisp, I can just flicker out whatever is there and also have a blocker for the Terramanders. I can then also hopefully Palace Jailer or Karakas next turn. This is pretty interesting. I think it's best to Palace Jailer. No, but then of course if they just attack, they get the creature back anyway. So maybe it is just a Flickerwisp. It's an Omniscience. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll definitely... I mean, we have to hit it, and then we just have to draw a land and cancel Judgment away the Omniscience. They haven't played a land, so I didn't want them to play a land and then cast something for free. Especially something like Emrakul. Now they don't have great attacks with the Terramanders, which is nice. I'm happy to tick this Vial up to 3 to hope we get a draw into something nice. Oh, a land is great. They can't even counter because the Thalia stops them from forcing. Now I'm happy to actually get in with both here. They didn't block last turn. I don't think they'll block this turn. Interesting. Just trying to save some mana. Save some life. Which is more than fine with me. Revoker and Terramander has really saved me. What you got? What you got? Another sneak? They're floating 2. I don't think so. They only have 2 cards in hand, so... I think here I'm happy to actually tick this Vial up to 4. Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb allows me to play the sword if I really want it. Yeah? Yeah, let's go with that. I mean, I could just go for the win here, put it on Thalia, and then... Oh no, they can still... Oh no, they can't block a Terramander even. I think here I'm happy just putting on the Flickerwisp and passing. I could go for the win. Interesting. So if I put it on the Thalia, and then I give the Wisp Pro Blue, that's going to be lethal. I think it's worth going for. It's pretty greedy, especially when they have open mana and 2 cards in hand, but sometimes you gotta be greedy to get the wins. I do have Palace Jailer up as well, which is nice, but I don't think it really matters. They might have something like a Braid on the sword. Yeah, they have a Braid, okay. That is fine. Oh, they're gonna get punished here. So what we're gonna do is... So we can Palace Jailer away 1. I think we deal 1 and 1 and then Palace Jailer away the Elemental. Interesting, they're gonna fetch. But they can't do much with 1 mana. I don't believe they would be a Gutshot deck. Trying to get some more creatures out of this Young Pyromancer by casting a Gutshot for 1 mana and 2 life. So what do we target here? We definitely kill the Young Pyro and the Pteramander. If they attack, they do get a creature back, so I'm happy just to take the Elemental. Because of course, this means it won't get... They will get to draw a card in their end step, but I think it might be a little bit too late. I guess we'll see what happens. We are open now to something like Kozilek's Return, which is pretty rough. So maybe we did just overextend, but you never know. Ugh. Oh wow, if they get the Monarch and then just blow up the whole board, that's gonna be pretty rough. And they've conceded. So pretty lucky there. I think I might have overextended. I really didn't need to play the Palace Jailer there. I really didn't need to give Pro Blue to the Flickerwisp and get in for lethal when really we had control of the board and we would have won anyway over 2 turns. But it's nice to get the win. So that's 2-0 against Sneak Attack both times, or at least a Sneak Attack variant, which is very cool. We'll go straight into the third match. Thalia, they're a house in both games, especially when my opponent was kind of getting a bit dicey on mana. But at the same time, Aether Vial is always pretty good, even when it's late. Just that accessibility to free creatures is nice. I mean, it's kind of like the format Sol Ring, in a way. It just gives you access to making your mana so efficient, especially when you're trying to use it to make your opponent's mana so inefficient through your mana. It really, really helps. So, really cool to get that. That's good. Nice. Von Snickety with his 3-month subscription. Thank you very much. You guys are very cool with your subbing. I very much appreciate it. To Twitch Prime, I thank you as well for giving my subscribers free subscribes. That is always nice. But of course, Genosaurus Rex, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. That is very cool. Congratulations as well, of course, on your 4-0 with Aluren on Tuesday. Very cool to see. I think Aluren's a deck that people kind of just dismissed once Deathrite was banned. So, very cool to see you fighting the good fight, sir, and seeing that come through. Episode 25, when are you back in Australia next? We're on the key. Are we on the play? We chose to play first. Very greedy, but yes, we will keep this. We hope to land this turn 1 Vial. We also have Warping Wail as a turn as well. It's going to resolve, which is nice. Turn 1 Delver, okay. So if we draw a Plains here, or a white source in general, we're looking really good. Oh, wow, okay. I think we just Wasteland here, and then play around Days, of course, and then just Swords this. Delver. It's going. It's going. Get it out of the ballpark. Get it out. Delver is a pretty nice matchup, but sometimes they can just run away with the game. There's a Ponder, so happy to Wasteland here and then put in the Thalia. So what did they do? They chose to shuffle. Okay. So that makes me think like they're trying to maybe get something going. Maybe some land draws. Drawing that second Plains is really nice, so let's just Wasteland this Underground Sea, and then we might as well just put in Thalia now. And then pass. And wow, they're just going to concede. Now I get paid on Wednesday. You best believe I'm going to be trying to make Dukes play a league with Allurn. I would love to play Allurn in a league. I think Allurn's a very cool deck. So we're looking at a Delver. So I'm going to take out Mirran straight away. I'm not too sure on the Palace Jailer. We'll see how that goes. It looks like Grixis, so I'm pretty happy for Holy Light to come in. I don't mind the Remorseful Cleric as just another... maybe the Council of Judgments for something like True Name, or also any effects that are going to keep us off the board. Revoker seems pretty bad. What else do we have? Everything else is pretty mainstay. I think this matchup is pretty nice. Let's just go ahead with this. Who won last night? If you're talking about Friday Night Legacy, I believe it was maybe 14 people. And I'm actually not too sure who won. I know Rick went 3 and a draw with Grixis. I think we'll just submit this and see how we go. Very lucky that they get to draw the white. Let's be honest. Whew. This hand's really nice against Delver. I'm happy to keep this. I'm not too sure if they kept in their Dazes, so I think I'll try to play around Daze on the play, which they're not even going to play a turn 1 threat, which is really nice. So we can play around Daze really nicely here. So we can just play a Plains and pass. So Grixis Delver has definitely come up a lot over the past couple of months. And its go wide strategy is really good against D&T, but if we're able to hit... Oh, Staticaster to the bin. Maybe they have Key Command, but it's really nice to know they brought in Staticaster. Also hitting in a Braid, which is pretty rough for them, I think. This could be a young Pyromancer if they're fetching for it. I guess we'll see. Gurmag's pretty good too. So I could Swords here, but I want to play around Daze just in case they have it. Another Swords. Okay. Well, that's pretty stupid. Now True Name's a real threat. Or Liliana Last Hope if they have it. Here's True Name. Okay. That's going to be fine. I think I'm happy just to play Walking Ballista on 1. I kind of want to play around Daze as much as I can, and I'm not in too much of a rush here, which is nice. True Name, hopefully not too much of an issue, as we do have the Holy Lights and the Council Judgments that we brought in. We might as well just remove and deal 1. There's a Delver. Okay. So the race is definitely on. I mean, Holy Light off the top here would be pretty insane, but I don't think we'll get it. There's a Thalia, which is actually quite nice. I don't mind Thalia here. Thalia hold up sword seems pretty good. What do they reveal? Lightning Bolt. Okay. I'm going to swords here just to see if they have any sort of interaction. They might be dazing just playing 1. Yeah. We will not pay for days. Sword's interesting. We know they have the bolt. So we'll play Recruiter. I think we just have to get Flickerwisp here. And then try to jam this Jitte on board. We know they have a bolt in hand, so they have 2 more cards. One being a land from the days. Ah, it costs. I can't. That is fine, because of the Thalia. Alright, so at least hopefully this bolt goes towards the Thalia. Okay, it doesn't, so let's tap down red here to see if we can get it out again. I really don't want them bolting the creature that we equip. They might just have it anyway. Because they have the bolt and True Name is just going to be lethal. But we do have an out by drawing into a land, I believe. Palace Jailer, that doesn't do much. Hatchline, thank you very much for the sub. That's really nice of you. 2 months in a row is very cool. I am very thankful for everything you do. For me, by subbing. This is looking really rough. I didn't want to attack because I have the bolt, so if I leave back 1 creature, they can just get through anyway. But of course, the bolt here is just going to be lethal with the... yeah. Okay. So not too sure what else we would really... We saw the Izzet Staticaster, so maybe it's worth bringing in Gideon over Palace Jailer because True Name is pretty terrible. Brightling doesn't seem too bad, other than against something like True Name. So I'm not too sure if it's worth bringing in the come on. Oh, Blessed Alliance doesn't seem too bad. So maybe we'll cut down on 1 Thalia, just because you can get caught with multiples in hand and it's not the greatest feeling. And because we're bringing in so many non-creature spells in Council's Judgment, Blessed Alliance, Gideon, we kind of want to be hitting these on curve and not have Thalia kind of locking us out like it did there with Jitte. So let's just go ahead with this. I could bring in the Remorseful Cleric if I really wanted to, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. Let's just play what we got. Would love to play first. His hand's rough, but so this is I think this is a trap hand. So it's got a mana source that is wastelandable. We do have the Vial, but it's not great. These equipment are pretty much dead cards right now, so it's kind of a 5. I think there's a better 6. This isn't it. Let's go to 5. This is fine. This is actually really nice with that vial. So let's put that on the bottom. Let's try a turn 1 vial. And let's see if we can get back in the game with maybe even like a turn 1 Thoughtseize would be pretty funny. Delver of Secrets, great start. I think because of my current situation, I'm happy to port here and not Wasteland. If this Delver doesn't flip, I'm trading with the mum, hands down, 100%. If it happens, we'll see how well we get to do this. Of course, okay. Guess we'll activate this. Try to see if this mum gets down. Oh, nothing, okay. This is definitely going up. Blessed Alliance is pretty good. I think I'm happy here to just play a Plains and pass and see what happens. However, I think True Name is just so much of a threat that I want to keep them off mana. I think I can stay a little bit around. They do have Force of Will in hand, yes. It looks like they might be like a braiding here. Yeah, it's fine. Can't block. Yo, hoping to see some sick players today. Looking forward to the BML to kick off. It's been a while since I've played. Yeah, for sure. The BML should be sweet. Really cool to get some outside assistance with places like Grilled and Netherworld. Interesting. This could be a Staticaster. Ugh. That's rough. So we know they have the Force, but there's no reason not to try to Blessed Alliance here. Target player sacks an attacking creature. Wow, okay. Interesting. So the Staticaster is going to definitely kill this Mother Runes, but we do have the mana. One thing that is quite scary is that now any sort of fetch land or underground sea pretty much turns on Gurmag straight away, so we can't really play around Gurmag Angler. I guess we got to give pro red. They didn't float, so I'm happy to tap down the port here as well and see how this goes. BML gonna be popping. Freedom Lost, I hear. This isn't looking great for us. There's a Scalding Tarn, which is pretty much gonna be a Gurmag if they have it. They don't, which is nice. We do have mana now as well for something like Gideon. We don't get Gideon, of course. I think here I'm just happy porting again. Double porting over Wasteland because it gives me mana. I can draw into something like Walking Ballista where the mana action is actually really relevant to keep it, so let's keep tapping. Lucky that is a Staticaster, can't really attack. It's not really a threat other than if we put something on board. There's Gideon. Okay. I think it's worth trying to get this on board. They're going to force it, of course. Pitching True Name. So that's actually a really big win for us because, yeah, Gideon trading with a True Name and a Force, I'm more than happy for that. I think here we have to Wasteland. Just to try to keep them off mana for another True Name in case they have a third mana and a True Name. I didn't play last BML. Going to be interesting to see how scheduling matches goes. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of players, there's a True Name. Last year, we're really good with scheduling with each other. There's no real bad feels about players that, you know, tried to be as poor as anyone else. Recruiter of the Guard's interesting. I think I wait. I think I have time to wait. I don't really know what I want right now. Maybe Stoneforge. Maybe Stoneforge is just good. They've already used one of Braid. Stoneforge I can of course put in and it won't die to Staticaster, which is nice. Trent, of course, top 8ing the BML last year with, I believe, Kiki Chord, which is very cool. Definitely the most sort of left field deck of the top 8. And pretty unlucky as well, coming up against Grixis Control in the quarterfinals, which is definitely not a great matchup. Yeah, definitely, which is cool. I really like how stores came on board and said they would give a discount to players as well. This is looking pretty bad for us right now. Young Pyro is pretty good. Alright, let's get this Battlefield. Let's get this Batterskull online. I believe it's going to be Batterskull. We could get Sword, of course, to get through the... True Name, but right now it's not looking the greatest. I think we'll go up to 3 just because of our mana. Port. Okay. So we at least get to port off Underground Sea in upkeep. Porting down Underground Sea means they can't cast Gomag, hopefully. You never really know until it's gone. Yeah, Burn... top 8 was pretty crazy. Dan did just play Burn the whole time. I mean, congrats to Rick who won it. He played 11 different decks in the 12 rounds. I believe he played Humans twice, and that was the only deck that he played twice. So kudos to him and anyone else that actually played a plethora of decks. Wasteland. Pithing Needle. Ugh. I think in response we definitely put in Batterskull. So now we have some pretty interesting plays. We could draw into something like Sword of Fire and Ice, which is like pretty stellar. I wouldn't also be unhappy about seeing something like Holy Light off the top. Council's Judgment as well, getting rid of the True Name would be really nice. But this Needle is interesting. I don't know what they're going to name. Most likely Batterskull. It means that the only way to reset it would be to Flickerwisp it. Vial could also be a threat. Stoneforge as well. Maybe even Port. Came for the one-off Tavada's Crusade in the sideboard. That would be a pretty sweet card to play. True name just so good. Yeah, it is pretty insane. I mean, D&T has a lot of resilience. And to be fair, the Staticaster did a whole lot of nothing for a few turns. Of course, getting rid of the mum is really nice, but... So it looks like they've named Aether Vial. Okay. So we won't tick this up. We will always trigger no. And we'll say no to this. Flickerwisp. Ooh, okay. So I think here we just... Flicker the Stoneforge for sword? Or do we just hold it? The Flickerwisp is definitely dying to the Is It Staticaster. I think we just hold it for now. So if I Flickerwisp the Stoneforge, I can get sort of Fire and Ice, which next turn could be lethal if I also draw into a land. I kind of like just holding back for now, and maybe even just keeping this Flickerwisp for the Batterskull. That needle really coming down at a nice time. Since I lost it once in a 1k top 8, I always expect it. EE, wow. It's pretty good. I think here we definitely tap down the Underground Sea. I didn't tap in their upkeep, sorry, I was in chat. I'm kind of hoping they blow the EE for 0. It also hits their Young Pyromancer token, and then we can just reset the Batterskull with Flickerwisp. And so here we will definitely tap down their Volcanic Island. Yeah, they're just gonna do that. That is more than fine. So we know we don't want to do this. There's a sword. Interesting. So I think we still... I think we still go after this Flickerwisp on Batterskull. Just to get more threats on the board, this Flickerwisp is of course going to die to the Is It Staticaster, which is like fine. We've just accepted that. But this does give us some time to actually maybe even get this sort of Fire and Ice onto the Batterskull. What's the date BML is expected to run till? I believe it's June 8th. It's the first weekend of June, I believe. Another Pyromancer is not the worst, but we do want to draw into a land here. And then we can start really firing stuff off. Come on. Come on. That's a good feeling. Okay. I think we just start killing Young Pyromancers. I don't really think it matters. Oh, it's a 2-turn clock if they can't deal with it. So they get up to 10, and then we deal 2 just to their face. And now they have to draw something. Haha! Oh, that feels good. That feels good. I thought I lost that. I thought that True Name was going to take over the game. And the Staticaster? Very cool. Very cool. Nice. Nice. So let us quickly update the score. We are currently 3-0, which is very cool. But yeah, that's definitely a game where you don't concede, keep playing it out. Play to your outs. Like, always play to your outs. And that's exactly what I did. I played to Sword of Fire and Ice, and I found Sword of Fire and Ice. Which is very cool. Very happy with that. So after this next game, we'll definitely give away this Shieldred Whispering one. Thanks to MTG Mate, which is a great place to get your MTG singles. You can use Doogs, which is a 5% off singles code. They do also ship internationally, and of course, all shipping is included, so you don't have to pay a dime for it. Let's join this. Be on the play. This hand's fine. This hand's pretty good. We're going to keep it. We'll start on the port and play a Vial. Chandra as a cover photo kind of looks interesting. G'day, Conformer. Welcome. We currently just took down a pretty close one against Grixis Control. Ooh, okay. Interesting, the mirror. I think I'm happy just to port. So this Walking Ballista is a really nice answer to the mum. Another Stoneforge isn't actually great, but I think here I'm actually happy to play this Ballista for 1. And then just pass turn. So Ballista's a really nice pickup for Mother of Runes. There's a Stoneforge, which is going to be fine. Sadly. I might even get to the stage where I keep this Ballista around to block and then sack. Just get Batterskull here. See if they have a swords. Looks like they don't. I'll keep this at 2 for now because we have so many 2-drops in hand. Oh, Plains is a great draw. So Plains kind of just... I can kind of reset the board here. I can Ballista their mum, and then if they go to give pro white, I can just get rid of it. Which I think is pretty good. No, that's fine. We used the white mana, so we can't put in Batterskull anyway. So happy to do that. I think I'm happy actually just to run out the Jitte here. Karakas is interesting. Karakas actually hits our Thalia pretty well. Wisp. Okay. I think in response here we will just... Oh, what we can do is put in Thalia, and then they can't cast swords in our turn, and we can Wasteland the Karakas, so Thalia is actually really good here. Wasteland's pretty nice as well, so we'll definitely take care of this Karakas. Nice. So now we get Jitte online, and they can't swords, which is pretty awesome. They also don't have a vial, which is a pretty huge part of this matchup. Freedom Lost. My favorite Plains artwork is probably the Judge foil, but there's definitely a lot of nice Plains out there. I know a lot of D&T players love the lightning bolt with the guy in the field, which is nice. It's interesting. I think with basics, you always find a better, a better art. I'm gonna go after the port here because it makes them have to have swords, which they don't this time either. Happy to tick this up to 2. Wisp is just a great draw. So I think here I'm happy to actually just remove this Flickerwisp and attack with both of my creatures. I could also hold back Flickerwisp, hold back Batterskull, which I think is actually probably better. So I'm pretty happy just to get rid of the Stoneforge now, because I don't want something like a Batterskull coming down. We can hold up Batterskull, we can hold up Stoneforge as well, so this is looking really good. Opponent's been pretty lucky. They haven't found removal, they didn't have a Turn 1 Vial, so happy to get that one. This is where it gets interesting. I think we definitely take out Thalia's. I'm not sure how good Palace Jailer is. Warping Wail is insane. Warping Wail gets around Mother Runes, which is really nice. What are we bringing in? That's the main thing. We're definitely bringing in Council Judgments. And then I kind of like Karn and Gideon, and that's it. Oh, Leonin Relic-Warder actually is really nice. Maybe the Mirran's not the greatest. The double strike is kind of overkill. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe I'll take out the Palace Jail and bring in just another 3-drop like Brightling, which means that I don't have to put Vial to 4, and just because the mana can be a little bit skew-whiff in the mirror match, that it's worth it just keeping my creatures down to 3s at best. Let's try our Brightling. I think it's pretty good. You can block a creature and return it if you really want to stop something like a Jitte. And it's also just a threat that can also gain life, so the actual fair race is pretty good. This hand's fine. There's no Turn 1 Vial, but it's got a Turn 1 Mum and a Turn 2 Stoneforge into Recruiter. That's pretty good for my thoughts. There's a Vial. Okay, so now we have something like Revoker online, which is cool. Isolate. Interesting. Okay. It's gonna happen. There's another Mum, so I think here I'm still just happy playing this Stoneforge Mystic. Getting Jitte. And passing back. So that means next turn I can play Mum and also keep up Jitte. The MTG Mate logo is missing under the stream sponsor, just shows.com.au. Ah, interesting. Thanks for letting me know. Not sure why it happened like that. There we go. Thank you very much. So now things get pretty interesting. Recruiter, okay. Recruiter into Stoneforge into Jitte is pretty good. They're gonna get Mum, so they most likely already have a Stoneforge in hand. So just that turn faster with the Vial allows them to actually get to Jitte faster. Interesting, but they don't have it. They have 4 cards and a Vial on 3. I can't really play around Flickerwisp, and I don't have a flyer to hit back as well. I think I just have to go for the Jitte, because I can't beat Flickerwisp. This is really rough. Maybe I Recruiter for Relic-Warder. Could also get Walking Ballista, but you can definitely see in this matchup how brutal it is to not have the Vial when your opponent has it. Yeah, and there's the Wisp. I think this chain just does it. Because I didn't have... Ah, yeah, wow. I just forgot about it. I was literally just thinking too much about this Vial. But yeah, these Recruiter chains are just going to go off pretty fast. Might as well act like I have a path or a swords, but of course I don't. I'm just going to concede. They have the second Wisp and Recruiter chain with Jitte, which means that they can get rid of the Leonin Relic-Warder pretty easily. I'm going to take out the Brightling for a Blessed Alliance and just stick with the same deck. So that was pretty rough. We would love to play first. This hand's sweet. We'll keep this. Could have led on the Ancient Tomb to keep my white source available, but I'm pretty happy just not running into Vial. Okay. So we get to actually Stoneforge here, which is pretty nice. For Jitte and just pass. So if we draw into a land, we actually have an attacker, which is pretty awesome. Wasteland's pretty good as well. We'll use this. Draw a Judgment, which isn't great. I think we just pass. We can attack. So we'll definitely Swords his mum. While we can, of course. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Containment Priest. It can really hurt me as well. Like in this start where I'm relying on Aether Vial so much, Containment Priest doesn't do a whole lot, sadly. If I was really going to go aggressive on not having Aether Vial start, then I could definitely see it happening, but... Interesting. So we'll definitely tick this up. Really wanted to land there. Not playing around Gutshot, my opponent. We're just going to pass back. We could, of course, try to exile out their Aether Vial, but I'm pretty happy just trying to target their Jitte. So here, happy to hit the Jitte. I don't think I want to block. I think I'm happy just taking this. This, of course, is a no. There's a land which is a start, but it's not great. I think we just pass back. Recruit is pretty good, especially if you're getting Hallowed Jailer. Interesting. Not even attacking. That's really defensive. Oh, no, I should have used Vial. That's an error. I think here I'm happy just to Recruiter for Leonin Relic-Warder. Yeah, he definitely has one from the Recruiter. Which, of course, this doesn't play around swords. Yeah, having a Wisp there would have been awesome. Pretty rough. Could even just get like a Palace Jailer here and just go away with the game. Yeah, they just have the swords. That's where we get really punished. If these Council Judgments were of course a little bit cheaper or something else, then it would have been nice, but we can't really have everything. I think I'm just happy with the trade here. Otherwise, they just kill it. Yeah, I can't beat these. Especially now because the Council's Judgment doesn't do anything. Unless I draw a land, maybe? I can recruit it for a Flickerwisp? No. Yeah, that's just game. We can't do anything there. Not hitting those land drops early on was a pretty big concession. So that's pretty rough. So we're currently 3-1. Alright, we can live the 4-1 dream. Which I'd still be pretty happy with. Yeah, 4-1 would be sweet, Chitash. That was pretty rough. If I didn't miss that Vial, it would have been nice to put in a Wisp, and then of course the draws change, and I could draw into land, but that is how Magic plays out sometime, and that is why we love it. But yeah, pretty happy to get that win against Grixis. That was pretty sweet. Especially with the Staticaster and True Name out, it was pretty rough, but it obviously worked out pretty well in our favor. Okay. Are we on the play? We are not. Urza. Okay. So this hand is okay. It doesn't have too much removal other than Ballista. I don't think it's the worst. I think it's a keep. We do have some manipulation with lands. Our opponent's down to 6, which is kind of nice. Okay. Alright. Plains isn't the worst. Let's just play Plains and pass. We have the Revoker for the Vial, which is nice, but we don't have much else. Port's pretty good as well. I won't be... Yeah, Vial Port start is pretty amazing. I think we just have to get rid of this Port now. And then hopefully be able to play a Revoker in the previous turn. Mum's pretty good. We do have the Ballista, which is nice. We do currently have answers to these permanents that our opponent is playing, but another Port here would be pretty good. They don't have it, which is nice. But of course, Swords is just another card that they could have. I'll play the Plains because I don't want to get hit out of this. I don't want to get Wastelanded out. Happy to name Vial. I think because they let it resolve, they obviously have something like a Swords in hand. Okay. Just gonna let it resolve. Interesting. Just another land. There's a vial for us. I think because this Revoker's pretty weak, I'm happy to actually play a vial myself, and then most likely play Stoneforge Mystic getting Jitte. And then just pass turn. I don't want to really, like, they could have something like Aven Mind Sensor that I don't want to really play into, especially if I attack with this Revoker, so happy to hold it back. There's not much of a race here, which is nice. I wonder what my opponent has. Only you play Mind Sensor? Okay. Batterskull's nice, I guess. We could also play this Walking Ballista. I don't mind Ballista for 2 here. And just passing turn, see what happens. I could also, before combat, kind of awkward there, but it looks like they're going to play Restoration Angel, which is pretty good. I think we'll definitely remove another one in case, just beforehand. Didn't think of Resto. That's not a card that I really thought about. So that's where I really, yeah, I shouldn't have attacked there and then done the Walking Ballista. That was just a misclick through, and then I thought I might as well still attack. But they're just going to concede. Okay. Interesting that they showed me the Restoration Angel and conceded. That's not a great play. I don't like winning like that. That's not really cool. So Blessed Alliance, yes. Holy Light, no. Relic-Warder, yes. Council's Judgment, sure. Gideon, sure. I don't know why they just conceded. They kind of seemed like a rage quit. I mean, they had the board. This hand is fine. We'll keep it. It doesn't have a vial, but it has some nice cards that can deal with a vial, can deal with a mum. We have our own mum, which is really nice. I think I'm happy to play into their swords if they have it. I mean, if they don't, they don't, which is nice. It looks like they've just passed turn, which is pretty nice. They're trying to establish dominance. Dominance. Why would you want to go 5-1 when you get through to Dream Detach? That is very true, James Wolfe. So I really want to draw into another Plains. Monkey see, monkey do. So if I play the port, they can Wasteland me and keep up Stoneforge. I think I'm happy here just playing the Plains and passing. It means I can definitely Council's Judgment the next turn. Just because I think they most likely took out Thalia's, so... It's Julian. We are currently 3-1 playing our last match against D&T. So we've gone down against D&T. We're currently playing against D&T up a game. We beat Show and Tell twice, or Sneak and Show, and we beat Grixis Delver. So we just didn't get there. The heart of the cards sadly wasn't there. How's Elves going? Obviously my favorite matchup. So Port's interesting. Wow, they're gonna Flickerwisp. I guess we'll see what they hit first. Obviously the Stoneforge. I think here we swords in response for sure. And then we can just Council's Judgment away this Flickerwisp, which I'm pretty happy with. It leaves them with no threats, which is nice. A third planes is really nice because then they can't really manipulate with us. So let's just pass here. Yeah, I saw your Value Elves deck, which looked really cool. We actually have a local who's currently building it, I believe. Recruiter is fine. Recruiter most likely getting something like Mum or Revoker, maybe even a Flickerwisp for the gains. Started out 2-0, finished 2-3. What did you win and what did you lose against? Another Flickerwisp is pretty good. I'd love to see something like a Wasteland here. Stoneforge ourselves. Stoneforge is actually really nice because now we get to Stoneforge and keep up Port. We will get Jitte. And then we'll just pass. I think I'm happy just to tap down. If I tap down the planes, they can port us in our turn, which I don't really want. So I'm going to tap down the port. It does leave them open with 2 white mana. But if their play is to play Flickerwisp and Flickerwisp the Recruiter, then I'm more than fine with that. Yeah, that Swords is pretty good. I mean, Swords is always great if you can hold it for when they're attacking with an equipped creature, but in that case where they're going to get value off it with Flickerwisp, I'm pretty happy to do it. The Brisbane Recruiter, it's Julian. Very nice. Stoneforge themselves is interesting. So I will get to, I believe, get through with this Stoneforge. Getting Batterskull means that I'm definitely going after the Stoneforge with this Jitte. Obviously no blocks. There's no good blocks here. If they block with the Stoneforge, I can get a 2-for-1 with the killing both. How legit a city is Brisbane? Brisbane is pretty legit. It's sad because a lot of the touristy stuff is usually on the coast, which is like an hour away, but from a Magic perspective, it's pretty good, especially for Legacy. We have a really good Legacy community. Ballista. Ballista's pretty good. Ballista is not going to do what they think is going to happen. And swords? Okay, game on. And is it true that everyone thinks Darwin is weird? Darwin's a little weird, yeah. Darwin's not the... Yeah, Darwin's a little bit weird. Warping Wail. Warping Wail is very cool. Warping Wail allows me to play the Stoneforge and keep up Warping Wail. Warping Wail is actually really good tech against Elves because it's just so good against everything. Glimpse, Natural Order, Green Sun Zenith, it exiles their creatures. Hands down, best card against Elves. So here, if they go to actually play a Jitte and if they have a land, they can go to attacks. But I have this Warping Wail, which is really nice. There's Flickerwisp. They're going to target the Recruiter. Are we going to get to Warping Wail it? Nice. Boom. Can we draw into a land? A land's nice because now we get to Council's Judgment away the Flickerwisp if we really want to. We can also just trade. I think I'm happy making this trade. We have the mana for Batterskull anyway, that I'm not too sad about losing the Stoneforge. I don't think there's any world where you don't block here, because the Jitte just destroys the Flickerwisp anyway. Town was destroyed 3 times by nature. I think Earth has made itself clear with regards people living there. Yeah, no, especially in the war as well, got hit pretty hard. This is fine. Everything is fine. I think I'm happy here just actually recruiting up another threat. Maybe Ballista? Maybe Jailer. Wow, okay, they're just going to concede. So, we get the 4-1, which is really nice. And actually right now, we're going to do this giveaway. A huge thank you to you guys for getting me to 300 followers. It means a lot. And as a big thank you, we have a Sheoldred Whispering one to give away. So this, of course, can go to anyone in the world. I am happy to ship it at cost. So there's no cost to you guys. Let's see if we can do a giveaway. The 300 for Dukes giveaway has happened. If you would like to type 300 for Dukes in chat, you can win this Sheoldred the Whispering Run. A lot of these have actually gone to local players, which is cool. It's Julian, I believe you need to do a little 0 for the Dukes, or else it doesn't actually happen. In the meantime, we'll open up these cases while we get into... while we let people in chat get in that 300 for Dukes. We'll open all of these. What do we get? How many ticks do we get? 80 ticks is pretty good. Doubling Season, Sneak Attack, Nicol Bolas, nice. That's pretty good, I think. I think Doubling Season is worth a little bit of money online, maybe. Let's have a look. Quick geese. Quick look. 80 ticks is always nice. Account. No. Doubling Season is worth a whopping 83 cents. There we go. You heard it here first. So I'll give you 30 more seconds. We have 300 for Dukes. Typing in chat for a Sheoldred the Whispering one. We will close it up very soon. But in the meantime, let's have a look over the deck list again. A big fan of Warping Wail. Huge amount. I really like the 24 lands as well. Going up to 24 lands has been really nice in just making sure I hit all my land drops. Obviously in that game 4 it wasn't the greatest, but it was fine. It's Julian! You got there, nice, okay. So this Sheoldred is definitely going straight to you. So congratulations for the Jitesh, sadly a little bit too slow. It's interesting that it actually randomly pulled it already. Usually I have to type in another exclamation mark and that. It's Julian, subscribed for 3 months in a row. Thank you very much. That means a hell of a lot coming from a guy like you that obviously does some of the best legacy content around. Not just in the league, but of course your elves content is one for the people to really enjoy. Yeah, deck was sweet. It's really good. Oh, interesting. What the hell is this? I wonder if I, does that end the giveaway? There it is. What's the green writing? Have you... Looks like Tyrannosaurus won this, actually. What? The green writing really put me off. I don't know what to do. But Trent, congratulations on the official winner of the Sheoldred the Whispering one. You are, of course, a local player, an Allurin player, a Sneak and Show aficionado. So congratulations on the win. I'll give this to you next time I see you, most likely at Legacy. That is going to be it for us. I'm pretty happy here to actually go and raid someone. I got to find out how to... I think you just raid through... It's Julian. Can you please help me out with the chat to raid? Freedom Lost, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much for coming in and watching this. 4-0 is very cool to get. You have a great weekend as well. All of you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to quickly raid you guys into a chat, so definitely stick around because you will be going to, hopefully, probably Arkan. Arkan actually raided me the other day, so I'd love to raid him back. So let's quickly set up a raid. Let me figure out how to do this. There we go. But yeah, no, D&T was sick tonight. Really enjoyed it. That game against Grixis was an all-timer for sure. I'm definitely going to go back and watch that. But thank you guys very much. Have an awesome weekend.